Ask you to change. Hi, hello. So I'm on the desktop today. I was wanting to use the desktop. I've missed my desktop. Not that there's like a huge difference between my laptop and my desktop, but still, you know what I mean? Like, hello. So that's why it's all different today. I'm gonna put these back on. I don't like the reflection, but that's fine. I feel like I was watching somebody do a video. I was watching a Pisces read. I don't even know who it was, but they were talking about how sometimes Pisces will like disappear, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, that's me. That's been me almost all year." I'm just in an extended deep dive where I am semi-present. Um, I'm in my semi-present deep dive. So, and I feel like it's been for most of the year, at the very least. I'm going to use the Ann Stokes Legends today, and I'm going to do what I did yesterday. I'm going to attempt to do what I did yesterday. And with these, just take them as they resonate, when they resonate, if they resonate, and if they don't, then, that's fine. I want to use super pippy decks like this, where the pip cards don't really like give anything. I guess the Kawaii Tarot isn't super like most of the pips are pippy, but sometimes like you'll get a sun or a moon, or they'll be arranged in a certain kind of way. Or sometimes the wands will be candy canes, sometimes the wands will be lollipops. Hey Holly, how are you doing today? The Nine of Swords and the Queen of Wands at the cut. And we're just gonna pick a sign and we're gonna go for it. If the stream shuts down, it shuts down. See, look, is that so like usually I don't mind, but it's so annoying today. I'm like, I wish. There we go. I'll just look like this. Hey, look, you can see the paper. Hi. Hi. Can you see in my glasses? They're just super reflective today. Gorgeous. Love it. So again, I'm going to do top three, bottom three, top three for the upper trigram, bottom three for the lower trigram. The Seven of Wands just flipped over, which has been a repeat card this year. It's had its moment. I think it's the current-ish one. I feel like this is nice and shuffled. I'm going to leave it there. Odds are yang, evens are yin, majors are divine, court cards are clarifiers as best I can. So, top. So I'll go 3, 2, 1, and then 6, 5, 4. Build them from the bottom. So we have the Seven of Pentacles in position number 3. The Two of Pentacles in in position number 2. The Knight of Cups in position 1, clarifying the title card. Interesting. Clarifying the Star. The Knight of Cups was at the top yesterday, too, as a clarifier for the Seven of Cups. I didn't pick a sign. I was supposed to pick a sign first. So I guess this is going to be general. So position 6 is the Knave of Pentacles. Lots of Pentacle energy. Position 5 is the Emperor. Position 4 is the Hanged Man. Wow. Clarifying, or the Knave of Pentacles clarifies The Ace of Pentacles in position 6. The Ace of Pentacles was in position 3 for Capricorn yesterday, so it's interesting that it drops down to position 6. Bottom of the deck is the Ten of Swords. I guess top of the deck is the Ace of Swords because that's what it looks like. Ten of Swords, Ace of Swords. Yesterday we saw Ten of Swords, or Ten of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles. I feel like Ten of Swords, Ace of Swords came out recently, though. Maybe not. Interesting. So today I'll probably do the community post thing again, but I'm not going to do all of the OBS showing the I Ching's thing because I don't feel like it. I guess that liquid courage yesterday gave me the patience to. I mean, honestly, I could, but I could, but it takes so much longer. It's fine. Oh, see, I already moved the keyboard. There's gonna be 4. No, there's gonna be extra. Because 3 of these lines change. Line 1, line 4, and line 5 are changing. So let me draw this out. This is 327 or 328. Sorry, general, I guess, because no sign. So this is divine yang, yin, yang. $17 is odd. So yeah, odd, even odd. So it's interesting that the first before the trigrams shift, we have the element of fire on the top again. And again, like yesterday, the Knight of Cups is clarifying that top line. And then on the bottom, we have 12, which is divine yin, followed by 4, which is another divine yin, followed by an ace, which is odd, so yang. So then this is going to change into yin, yin, yang, 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 yang. I don't know why I always draw the second one so much smaller. Right? 12, 4, even, odd. Yep. The bottom one is heaven. Well, when it changes, it's going to change in heaven. Okay. It's fine. Oh, I don't have to. Okay, never mind. I'm just not going to be able to grab it from my phone. Let's see. And then I'm going to timestamp again when and where these. When and where. See, on my desktop, I have so many, many things. I got 3.5 and 3.6 Python. Oof. I got TP-Link still installed. I ain't had a TP-Link router in a hot minute. Where's my PDF reader? Here it is. It's interesting. So when I opened up this PDF, it was on I Ching number 38, which is interesting because that was the I Ching from yesterday. And I didn't use this yesterday. I used my laptop. So, oh my gosh, when was the last time I was on here? I got transport process chapter. Oh. I haven't seen this. I feel like I haven't used this in so long. This is an equation that measures heat transfer. Yeah, unsteady state conduction in the cylinder. Oh my gosh. And then on the other side, I got Schuler, chapter 10, scale up operations. I ain't done anything engineering in years at this point. Almost 5. No, almost 4. Because that was 2020 when I finished everything up. No, it was 2019. Hold up. No, it was 2020. It was 2020 when I finished everything up. December of 2020. Oof. So this is fire. Over. This is thunder. So fire over thunder. And this is I Ching number fire 21. Bite through. I don't know if I've ever had this one before. Bite through does not sound familiar. And then we go to thunder. Oh, wow. Thunder over heaven. I'm pretty sure I've had this one before. Right? Yang, yang, yang. Yeah, or yin, yin, yang. Sorry. Yin, yin, yang is thunder. And then heaven. Thunder over heaven is I Ching number 34, great power. Cool. And so now I got to come over here and I got to find these. I don't know. This is why I'm like, these would work so well if I like do them before, but it's fine. I'm a live reader. I'm a live puller. I should do a pre-recorded. I haven't done one in a minute. Number 31. I'm looking for 21, so we've gone too far. This is number 28. This is number 25. We're getting closer. 23. 22, 21. Cool. This is Shurha? Shurha? No. Yeah, Shurha. Excuse me, I'm probably... Oh, snap. If you have enough to eat and drink, you may handle lawsuit cases smoothly. I don't know what. See, the I Ching in the Book of Maps, it has the hexagrams, but it doesn't include the changes, which is why I use something different. And I'm like, oh, wait. Yin, yin, yang. Yin, yin, yang. Okay. This is on page 141, number 77 in the PDF, though. So I'm going to get my snip and sketch. And then I will begin populating these for your viewing. I would say pleasure, but for your viewing. Cool. Da, 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 da. Just got to make sure I know where this is saving. Saving. I want to add an image, and I want it to be this image. Excuse me. Let me see. Let me come back over here. Oh, there we go. Okay. So this is why I'm like, what is happening? We have 3 lines that are going to change this time. We have the line 5, 4, and the top line 1. So, or line 2 because they count from the bottom. Right? Yes, they count from the bottom. Bite a large chunk of meat which touched your nose. No bad things at present. Today's the day I might break down and just read it from the book of maps. Or read it from the book of maps because she's giving me like extra cryptic today. Maybe I just need alcohol to understand. I need some Oracle juice. Somebody give me some Oracle juice pronto, please. I'm nothing without alcohol. That's a bit extreme. So this is the first line that changes. That's literally the same way. There we go. Bite a piece of meat if it touches your nose. These are not going to be perfect. Perfection is not the aim here. The next line that changes is line 3. You got poison eating preserved meat. You feel a little unwell, but it is not serious. Girl, wait. Let's see. Also, okay, so I'm just trying to get these. I haven't read like the cards yet, but this is still like kind of like. See, but preserving meat was. I feel like I was just thinking about this the other day about how like salt revolutionized the survival game. When we were able to preserve meat to eat through the winters, when it was too cold to go and do whatever, or when the animals were doing whatever they were doing, like cured meat, salted meat, preserved meats. But I guess like there's still an expiration. Right. I feel like I kind of want to make these bigger. I at least want to make the main one bigger. The main ones. And then we have one more line that's going to change. Oh, wow. Wait, never mind. I'm running out of space. And there's no undo button on these. Yeah, I just moved all that just to move it right back. I know. And then the top line changes. It is bad luck to be confined by an old Chinese device to punish criminals that conceals the ears. Girl, what is happening? What is happening on this? Is this like metaphorically biting off more than one could chew? I have no idea. Sometimes I don't know, and we end up somewhere. We'll see if today is one of those days. Because I'm really out here very confused. Mm-hmm, 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 mm-hmm. I will say though that these appear like on YouTube a lot larger than they do in OBS. See, this is why I didn't want to do it. Let me see. I'm gonna click back over in here. Yeah. See, like these are big enough. Because I have a whole other image to add in here. I feel like I need a background color. You know what I mean? I feel like just having this black is. Uh, and then this transforms into etching number 34. See, I could use. Oh, etching number 34. Da Zhuang. Da Zhuang. I think Da is like big, right? Or great. I guess it depends. Strong. It is suitable for predicting the future. She's not giving me anything today. I mean, she's giving me something that I just don't understand. It's not easy, not as easy to just like get today. So I might break down and grab my um, what's it called? The Tao Oracle, I think. Is that what it's called? Because they have lines in that book, but these are like illustrated and I get to put them on the screen. But I am like, what is happening today? Maybe this is what I get for not picking a sign like I was supposed to do. There we go. Can I do that? I mean, I can do whatever I want. Should I do that? There we go. There's me. Let me not get so discouraged before I even try. I am going to add color. just because I'm feeling it today. There we go. Just to like, I don't know, break it up. Need those? Cool, I think so. We'll try. We'll attempt. I'm glad I got some water today. Did I leave my water in the other room? I think I left it in the other room. I'll be right back. I need my water. I gotta have my water. Do 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 do. Meditate on these images while I go and grab my water. Or don't. You can do whatever you want to do. Excuse me. We're going to have to extra Pisces today because they said, "Oh, you want abstracts? Oh, you want to work?" I was like, I guess. All right. So, before we get into all that, we have the element of fire and the element of thunder, much like yesterday. So today's element of fire is brought to us by the star, the two of pentacles, and the seven of pentacles. The star is clarified by the Knight of Cups and the title card. Now it's interesting because the Knight of Cups and the title card gives me a very similar energy to the trigram of fire that Capricorn had yesterday, where it's like the Knight of Cups is moving. See, the Knight of Cups is such an interesting knight because it feels like it moves and it is guided because it follows its heart. Excuse me. And there's a very similar call to yesterday, where it's like the Knight of Cups is going somewhere and they don't necessarily know where, but try to get a little center. But they're going there. Now, that's clarifying the star. Here's the star in this deck. This Knight of Cups also has like a chariot. It almost has chariot energy. Because there are two wolves on this Knight of Cups. See, no, this is different. This is a different deck. Because the wolves are here. The two wolves are giving me the energy of like, there are two wolves that live in all of us. The one that thrives, the one that survives is the one that we feed. But both of these wolves are healthy. Also, they're giving me this like silvery gray color, which is giving me the energy of antimony. It's also giving me the energy of the wolf in the wild unknown animal spirits. The wolf that waits beyond the veil is giving me the energy of the story, the tale of the wolf in the Archeo deck. But this is someone who has like animal companions. Not necessarily like hunting dogs, but it still does feel like the wolves are leading her somewhere. Now, on this title card, we actually like it's illustrated. We see, oh gosh, we see a baby dragon, a griffin, and this mysterious woman. Now, what's interesting is on the star card, there's a mysterious woman that is holding a dragon egg. And then it's like a baby dragon in the title card that preceded it. So the element of fire, the Two of Pentacles, the Seven of Pentacles, it's interesting that it's just so earth heavy. Maybe this is for another. If this would be for a sign, I thought about doing that too. Just like rolling or asking Google to roll a d12 after to see what sign it could have been for. But I'm not going to do it. It's just like this fire is really earthy, which could be a hearth, but it doesn't necessarily. Maybe it's because the Knight of Cups, the title card, and the star are here, that it doesn't feel like a fire that like support. It doesn't feel like an earth that supports fire, like a fire pit or a hearth. It feels like an earth that almost smothers a little bit. Um, I wonder if this could be again, because this fire is so similar to Capricorns from yesterday. It could almost be a similar vibe to Capricorn energy, but there was some kind of fulfillment or pleasure or joy or satisfaction. At the very least, some kind of satisfaction that Capricorn got out of all of that earth energy. So Capricorn's earth and fire align. Capricorn's fire is not dimmed or diminished by earth. The earth creates like a warmth around the fire, giving it that hearth, campfire, fire pit type energy. Now, here, again, it just feels like that may not necessarily be the case because this Knight of Cups title card clarifying the star almost feels like this is supposed to be comforting, or this is supposed to be some kind of like reminder that like what you're doing, it's like doing what you have to do so that you can do what you want to do, or doing what you need to do so that you can do what you want to do. This is like very disciplined, but almost like a burnout type energy, because it's like, okay, well, when can we like have fun? The Two of Pentacles and the Seven of Pentacles gives me an energy that has to be very not meticulous, even though meticulous is the word that comes to mind. Excuse me, it's almost like the earth requires so much time, energy, attention, and effort that for someone who isn't like super passionate about mundane things, I could see it being not very like, and this is the fire. Now, if this is someone's internal fire, I could also read this as like not necessarily karma or the weight of karma, but it's like how like the day to day is kind of like draining. Like I feel like I don't know how to communicate this Two of Pentacles, Seven of Pentacles energy. Like the Seven of Pentacles is cultivating. The Two of Pentacles could be like choice or balance. So it can be something that's like, well, do I use this fertilizer or do I use that fertilizer? Do I plant it in this kind of pot or that kind of pot? Do I put the plant over here by the window or do I put it over here by the door or outside on the patio? It feels like a lot of choices and decisions for one's like 3D material life well-being that don't necessarily feel super exciting, or it could be some like a process that's unfolding but it's taking time, and in the time that it's taking, the fire of desire is kind of like dimming a little bit. Also with the star being here, it's interesting that the star, the title card in the Knight of Cups is here, because it almost feels like a breakthrough or a miraculous circumstance. Meaning, like, it doesn't necessarily feel super continuous, right? Almost like if someone's like, excuse me, saving up money to get a new washer, then they come into a sum of money and they can just like buy it, or someone gives it to them for free, or it's like there's the here's the work and here's the effort, and then here's something that just like happens because it's the star. You know what I mean? Now the bottom trigram of thunder, we have it's rooted by the Ace of Pentacles, clarified by the Page of Pentacles, the Knave of Pentacles. Then we have the Emperor and the Hanged Man. Now, this Emperor is given, I guess, a Green Man, because here's the Emperor. And I guess it's interesting because, again, there's so much earth here. There are so many pentacles here. This is all pentacles. Two of Pentacles, Seven of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles. And then we have the Emperor, the Hanged Man, and the Star. So much earth. So much earth. Now, thunder transforming into heaven is not like, it's probably one of the like elementally that transition makes sense to me, but I almost wonder if it's a little Bifrostian, because thunder transforming into heaven, and I guess we had the fire that transformed into thunder. We go from fire over thunder to thunder over heaven. So it feels more like a frame shift than anything. But it also feels like, when lightning strikes, it like crashes down. But it feels like this is something that rides the lightning up to heaven as it comes down to earth. It's so weird. Sand batteries. Never heard of it. Also, these two, here's the Ace of Pentacles and the Knave of Pentacles. See them? And then here is the Hanged Man. We have this angel, I guess, with a rose, who looks a little forlorn, a little bit. Thunder is an element of inspiration. I think thunder is like lightning. Or is thunder like thunder? If thunder is like thunder, then it is almost like a sound, but it's like a cracking sound or like a booming sound. It's a sound that really occupies space. Now, this emperor sitting across from the Two of Pentacles is interesting because this emperor, these little acorns in the emperor, reminds me of the Two of Earth, how she brought like the seeds for the thing that was to become something. And maybe that is the tie back to the star. It's like it's the seeds of what it is that we hope for, wish for, pray for, and or are manifesting that we tend to, and then they develop into the thing, right? Like if we're manifesting corn, we get the seeds for the corn. So we plant the seeds, we tend to it, and then come harvest time, there's the corn that we manifested. Now, she's laying down on these stairs. I wonder if she's almost like waiting. Almost like thunder waiting on lightning. And there's also something here that is like crystallizing. Like the Ace of Pentacles, this feels like theory. And then this feels like the manifestation or the realization of that. The 3Dification of what is proposed or imagined. This almost gives me, I think it's one of the Temperance cards in the Prime Muse Double Majors Tarot, where it's like an angel that doesn't have anything to do. Like the angel is bored. Not bored, but the angel already did, like there's nothing for the angel to do. See, and this is like the green man. Because this is the green man, it's almost like it's more about natural forces or lower forces than it is about like celestial or angelic and or necessarily spiritual forces. Almost like if we plant the seed and we tend to it, then nature takes its course. We don't, like we can, because there are deities associated with agriculture and there are rites and rituals to bring a good harvest, that the weather is nice and the bounty is plentiful. But it's almost like at that point, like once the seed is planted, it's a natural world thing. Of course the divine can intervene, but it's a natural thing. Why this dragon egg though? I might actually, let's see. I might look into the book, see what they say about this star card. From out of the darkness, hope shall arise, a guiding light that will offer a way forward where none seemed possible. Serenity where there is agitation, and a faith in whatever the future may bring. The star represents the spirit of hope and faith. Cool. So, faith, inspiration, bright prospects, mixing of the past and present, fulfillment, pleasure, and promising opportunity are the key words for uplight. Excuse me. I mean, I guess this is the year of the dragon. So it could be things that are like happening in this year. Now, the dragon inside of this egg, like that ain't like a little fetus. That looks like a dragon that is probably gonna hatch soon because look at how developed it is. It's probably gonna hatch like very soon. So I guess this could be something that happens within this year rather than this being something that like begins this year. And maybe there's something here that's almost meant to demystify karma. Because this is like, it isn't necessarily a matter of some divine intervention, it's a consequence of the natural world, which is the creation of the divine. But like, it feels like without divine intervention, there is a certain way that things work. And then with divine intervention, with miracle, like we can get something that we didn't necessarily expect. You know what I mean? So, I Ching, we start with 21. You don't see the diagrams, but it's fine. So we go from solid line, solid line, broken line, solid line, to broken, solid, 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 solid. You can imagine that or draw it yourself. So, sure, huh? You have enough to eat and drink. You may handle lawsuit cases smoothly. So the lawsuit in this case, it's given me more like the court of divine law, just because of the vibe. And then with the changing lines, hold up. Yeah, 2, 3 in the top line. Bite a large chunk of meat which touched your nose. No bad things at present. I feel like so that could be. It's almost like eating what you already have. It's almost like, let's say that you're at like a buffet or whatever. And in this case, let's say that greed is something that we're avoiding because there is poisoned meat in the next changing line. And then it looks like some kind of consequence after that. So it's almost like we're avoiding greed or we're avoiding overindulgence. So with the line 2 changing, it's almost like eat everything that's on your plate before you get up to get another plate, right? It's almost like, sometimes when our eyes are bigger than our stomachs, like if we start to eat something and we go like, oh, like I'm going to want some more, so let me get up and go get it now. But then it's like after we finish eating what it is that was already on our plate, we don't even have room for the extra that we got. And now the extra that we got is going to spoil if it doesn't get, refed to someone else. So maybe that's why it's like, bite the chunk which touched your nose. And at that point, it's like no bad things. And then on line 3, you got poisoned eating preserved meat. You feel a little unwell, but it is not serious. Why is there a little door down there? Oh. What? Now, again, that could be the point of greed. That could also be that line in particular is making me think of the Israelites when they were in the desert and it rained, what, bread and manna or whatever. And they were taken care of. They were taken care of Monday to Saturday. Sunday was the Sabbath, the day of rest. And then they would like hold on to the bread for Sunday out of fear that it wouldn't last, but it spoiled because I guess like you couldn't hold on to it for longer than 24 hours or it would spoil. But since it like fell and rained, since it was given to them every day, there was no need to hold on to it. Because they knew that on non-Sabbath days, they knew that like they would be fed. So that could be an element of not necessarily like lack consciousness. But again, I almost wonder if that goes back to, and not, I'm sure not everybody eats like that. I'm sure there are people who finish their plates before they get up and get more food. But it's like maybe in a similar vein, it's something that comes up often. Like when we season food before we even try it, before we even eat it. So, like if we add salt to something, thinking that it won't be salted to our liking, only to then afterwards find out it's like way too salty because it was already like seasoned to liking. It was already seasoned to taste, to our taste. But with it's like since we didn't cook the food or since like someone else's taste may be different. So again, like instead of trying the food first to see if it needs it, we just add it and then it ends up being like way too much. And then the last changing line, it is bad luck to be confined by an old Chinese device to punish criminals that conceals the ears. It's also interesting how the luck turns throughout this. Like, you may handle lawsuit cases smoothly, meaning, like, at least good luck. And then no bad things at present, still decent. You feel a little unwell, but it's not serious. So it's like starting to turn, and then we end up in a device used to imprison criminals. See, and I feel like because the ears are concealed ears is like it's not hearing. And it's interesting that we end with concealed ears because this I Ching is apparently about like being judged at some point in some degree because there's the lawsuit case. But if our ear is concealed, then we can't even hear what we're being charged with. Or like we can't even hear what we've done wrong. And it feels like that's where the bad luck comes in. And it's not even just a matter of like us not being able to defend ourselves if we don't know what we're charged with, but it's like us not being able to see what we did wrong. Did wrong. Then it's like we can't learn from it. So then if we go back to the large chunk of meat which touched our nose, this is almost like working on what's in front of us and not seeking out anything that is beyond what is for us to be seeking. I feel like I've heard something similar recently, and I was like trying to like, who said that? But every now and then this energy comes up. I feel like sometimes because there are so many general readings, um, or just in general, we can get into a habit and we can get into a practice of like constantly looking for something to heal or constantly looking for something to fix. Or we can like view a general timeless reading, knowing that everyone's on a different timeline, but it's almost like we can try to accelerate ourselves. Or if we've already navigated beyond something, we can try to like, not try to, it's like we can go back and revisit things that aren't even ours to revisit. Like I was talking to somebody recently and they were talking about like 5 to 12, 5 or 7. It was probably 5 or 7 because I feel like 12 is a little excessive. They're talking about like 5 or 7 different blockages when it comes to a certain whatever. And as I'm listening to this person talk, I'm like, but like, are these blockages yours? Or are these just things that you're picking up because you saw this video and they mentioned it in the video and you think that it may like apply? Because I'm like, I didn't like necessarily hear, and there are things about this person, of course, that I don't know. So maybe the blockage is theirs, but I'm just like listening to them talk about it and I'm just thinking, but like, are these blockages actually yours? Or are you now, having viewed those, going to try to find a reason why you aren't where you want to be and prescribe yourself one of these 7 causes that they list? Like, is the blockage or is that reason actually yours? And I feel like in this instance, it could be something that doesn't touch our nose. So now we are unwell from someone else's blockage because we've introduced, it's almost like we've introduced an element of shadow into our mix that does not belong to us. And because that shadow does not belong to us, it may not necessarily fit in with the different pieces of us. And so to try to force it into our wholeness is to introduce a foreign element that does not belong, which can lead to minor symptoms of spiritual, physical, emotional, mental unwellness, because there's something that we've taken on as ours that is not ours. And if we can't hear that it isn't ours, because again, it's like, well, I want abundance, and these are the 5 blockages to abundance, and I'm not abundant. So one of these 5 has to be for me, at least, if not multiple. And it's like, maybe it does resonate, or maybe it doesn't. Maybe the only thing that resonates about that is in a blockage to abundance. That could be the only thing that resonates. That could be the only thing that is true. But when our intuition and discernment is impacted and affected by other influences, forces, and emotions, it can kind of skew it. So the truth would potentially be that we have a blockage to abundance. And there are things that may resonate within that because we want them to, basically. Because when we know what it is, we can combat it. Excuse me. And that's this Ace of Swords, 10 of Swords at the top and bottom of the deck. When we know what it is, we can take care of it. When we know Ace of Swords, we can end it, 10 of Swords. But if it's not truly ours, then it has sometimes limited or negligible benefits, right? Like, let's say that it's almost like, okay, I don't want to go there. Let's say it's something like weight loss. Or let's say it's like one of those, let's say on the topic of abundance, because there's weight loss is also the body, which is also earth. But It's like people who are like, oh, well, if you like skip your $5 coffee every day, then you can invest that money into something else. But like, what if you don't even buy, like, what if you don't drink coffee? Like they're like you don't have a $5 cup of coffee that you buy every day. And yeah, you could interpret that to be something else. You could go and find something that is your $5 cup of coffee, or you could just go, this ain't for me because I'm not spending $5 on a cup of coffee every day. Like this is not relevant to me. Or again, you can make it relevant. Maybe you get a $5 smoothie and that's your $5 cup of coffee. Maybe it isn't. But because we don't have, or because we lack, and there's someone who's giving information, again, it's easy to go like, oh, well, one of those must be mine because I don't have what they say that I'm missing. And these are the reasons why. So anyway, it's that whole introducing things that is not necessarily ours that can make us unwell because it's a foreign presence in our. And then I guess that's another thing about like spirituality sometimes too, is that some of those places and spaces can be so sacred or so core mentally and emotionally, or they could be so deep and so close to our mental emotional core and psyche, that to introduce them at like that deep of a level is to change so many things. And it goes beyond behavioral. It becomes like our physical bodies can start to react to something if our minds, hearts, and spirits believe it enough, regardless of whether or not it's true for us again. But to not even be able to hear, or to not even be able to know why, or to not be able to like hear the proceedings, like that's something that we're missing when it comes to this judgment justice process. And it feels like that's why it's bad luck. Because like now we can't even correct it because we don't even know what's like wrong. Now this I Ching changes into strong. It is suitable for predicting the future. That is it. But because of the image, because we see someone meditating, this is someone going within themselves. So this going within to check in with the self and to connect with the self in those ways, because like the self will, it's not like the self will tell us necessarily, but it kind of is. And this is also too like the hermit. The hermit's not here today. The hermit did come out for Capricorn. Um, but it's again, it's when the hermit trades the light of the Hierophant for their own light. Or when the hermit finds the divine within, so they're no longer reliant upon a Hierophant without to instruct them or guide them on how to traverse their own internal depths. Now, when it comes to things external or like happenings or whatever, like that's one thing. But connecting to self and like getting to know oneself, I personally feel like a Hierophant can only do so much. And even if a Hierophant told us, it's still up for us to develop those connections with ourselves, or to have those moments of like presence with ourselves, even if we know, or even if we're informed, or even if we're told. It's just like if someone were to be like, hey, like, this is your sister. He's like, okay, but you still have to like form a relationship with that person. You still have to form a bond with that person. You still have to get to know that person. It's not like the knowing or the knowledge that someone is related to you causes this automatic download about like who they are in their whole life, and like, oh, and then like you just, you know what I mean? Like there are still things that need to be done in order to establish connections. And maybe that's what it's all about. Maybe it's all about connection, connection to self, connection to others. But yeah, that's what I guess I'm getting because they're like meditating with the open book. So we're taking a few liberties, but that's what it feels. That's what it is today. I am gonna also read these in the book of maps because I am. So because I don't trust myself. It's not that I don't trust myself. Because I feel like ultimately, like we got somewhere, but at first I was like, "Oof." I feel like ultimately we got there. Now I'm just curious what these I Chings say. So, and I'm interested to see how it compares to the illustrated because I literally just Googled. So when I did this before, there was a different book of changes that I found that was not illustrated. That was like the wise man, blah blah blah, the great man, blah blah blah, and I was like, okay, the illustrate. I love that it's illustrated. Don't get me wrong, but especially today, I'm like, poison me. And she really breaks it down. So 21 to 34. Excuse me. 21, biting through, cracking seeds. This is Shuho. Instead of Shuha, it's like Shiho. The mouth is forced open, a vulnerable position. You must bite down and tear through the obstruction. Bite your way through the obstacles. Excuse me. Tensions between the minority and majority. Circumstances are favorable for issuing punishment where punishment is due. Adjudicate with impartiality, and then let the punishment fit the crime. Yet, in the process of penalizing another, you inflict harm onto yourself. A difficult choice, a Pyrrhic victory. That it's about accurate. Okay, because sure. It's interesting that the energy of like judgment is here though, or like justice. And I guess we do see that. Cool. Oh, it mentions a seed, cracking seeds, biting through. And then we do have this egg, the dragon egg. And we have the acorns, which are seeds, and the green man of the emperor. Like this is natural law because it's like the green man and because the angel is at rest, which is interesting. Like this is almost purely excuse me, Da Zhuang. This is the great, the big Da. Da Zhuang, vigor, great power, be alert and vigilant. A union of power and strength. The force to exert is the force of amplifying. Your flock is still in danger, so be alert and vigilant. Summon great power by aligning yourself with the divine. Take the path that appeals to the divine so that divinity will support you with power and strength. The sage will tread on paths that are aligned with universal laws and the cosmic order. See, this universal laws, cosmic order, like this definitely feels like something related to karma, justice, or judgment in some way. I guess it's interesting because in the Witch's Tarot, Judgment is karma, and it's a solar eclipse. And the solar eclipse is coming up in a week and some change. And I still need a, yeah, it's fine. I'm excited. So I'm a little, not necessarily, I'm curious. I'm a little curious. Um, but I guess I'm excited. We'll see what happens on this solar eclipse. But I guess I wouldn't be surprised because it's like the demystified karma, where it's almost like laws. I want to say the lower laws, but it's like things like cause and effect or the workings of the natural world. There's nothing necessarily super like mystical. And it isn't that there isn't, but it's not reading like there is. Maybe too, this could be us like not biting off more than we can chew, meaning like this is us working in our own sphere of influence, working within our own jurisdiction, working with the things that we know how to work with, like our tools. May not necessarily be the best, most optimal time to like work with someone else's tools, especially like if we don't have a proficiency in them, I guess. It's almost like it's a time of certainty. I feel like I read that. I don't know if it was the Whispers of Lord Ganesha. Probably not. Or if it was in the Tarot of Apocalypsis. It felt like I read, or if it was in the Fairy Tarot. Maybe it was like the Divine Yang in the Fairy Tarot. It was something that was like, it's a time to rely on what only, it's a time to rely on only what is reliable or something like that. It's a time to hold fast to that which is like strong, steadfast. It's that energy, like to rely on what is reliable. I mean, the title card is here, so don't ask me why. And then we have this baby dragon that honestly looks like it could emerge from the egg at any time. It looks pretty fully formed to me. I'm looking at the cards. So we have the Ace of Pentacles, the Two of Pentacles, the Hangman, which is a 12-3, the Emperor, which is 4. We don't have a 5 or a 6. Then we have the Seven of Pentacles and 17, which is an 8, and the Star. Could I clarify the dragon egg? No, I can't. And I can't because it came out right next to the title card. So I have to let it be. Knight of Cups, the title card leading up to the dragon egg. Ooh, that was general. What am I gonna title this one? Maybe I'll title it. Maybe it's time to clean out the fridge. This is. I guess that's kind of funny. Was that last night or the night before? It was on the 26th. So it was 2 days ago. And I know it was the 26th because I got a salad. That the Best Buy did was the 26th. I ate some meat that had been in the fridge for not too long, but I am okay. Luckily, it, there was no food poisoning or whatever. It didn't go bad. Ooh, who is that? The Nine of Wands with the other title card at the bottom of the deck. So this title card is just a straight up title card. Like the box art title card. The other one has an attribution to the author. I'm gonna keep shuffling. I'm not gonna take this. And then the Knight of Swords is at the cut. Ooh, look at the Knight of Swords at the cut with the title card. With the other title card, face to face with the dragon. Ooh, when did it get so old? I wonder if I'm sure they age differently. I wonder how quickly dragons reach that kind of size. I guess it wasn't necessarily too big. I don't know. Anyway, it's fine. All right, final card from the Legends Tarot, please. Final card, please. The Nine of Wands will flip right back over if it's supposed to. The Hanged Man with the Three of Cups at the bottom of the deck. This Hanged Man is interesting. It's interesting that the Hanged Man is here because yesterday for Capricorn, there was an energy. It was the King of Swords, the Queen of Swords, and the Nine of Wands. That's what it was. It was the Nine of Wands. And it was an energy. There was something in Capricorn where it was like the intuition was getting like really, really, really quiet. And now we have this sleeping angel. Where it's almost like I wouldn't be surprised if this isn't it like there's an unfolding of things. This year is already everything, not a lot of things are coming out. A lot of things are coming to the light. A lot of stuff that we've been talking about, or a lot of things that have been talked about, some things that have been talked about for quite some time. But now it's like really coming to the forefront to the point where if you know, you know, it's like, okay. But it's almost like I don't know if it's the eclipses. I don't know why these eclipses are apparently different from all the other ones that we've had, total solar eclipses and others. But it's almost like it's a time. Maybe it's this like judgment energy. Maybe it's our time before justice, and it's like everything that is being like decided now, the verdict that is reached now, and um, the terms, the results to follow are all a part of that emperor natural world order. So it's almost like the angel energy was trying to get us to, before we reach the judge, to like build a case, if that makes sense. Is like it was trying to get us to navigate and to move in ways. Maybe that's the Knight of Cups with the title card. Even like the Knight of Cups with that Seven of Cups for Capricorn yesterday. Maybe it was like trying to get us to these points, places, and positions so that when we go before the judge, we will get like a karmic reward type energy. Because after the judgment call is made, after justice is carried out, it's like there's little that can be done at that point. At that point, we just have to write it out, you know? Or not. Take it if it resonates, as it resonates, when it resonates, and if it don't take it. Don't force anything to fit that ain't yours to fit. And yeah, that's it. Apparently, no sign today. We got there. We got there. We did. I was very confused, but and I wonder too if there isn't a self judgment aspect to this as well. Almost like how sometimes judgment in reverse can be us judging ourselves, but it's almost like I think with the poisoned meat, if we judge ourselves based upon a comparison with others, or if we judge ourselves on someone else's rubric or someone else's evaluation rap sheet or whatever, it's not fair to ourselves to do that because we're not somebody else. And we may not all be judged in the same ways or on the same things or for the same reasons. You know what I mean? Like we could be evaluated differently. And so, like, just like, maybe it's a time for us to not be, maybe it's a time for us to give ourselves some lenience as well, too, to give ourselves a little bit of grace. Yeah, because whatever that was that's happening, bro, who knows? I still need a title. Did that not come out though? Was that not the Queen of Swords? I think that was almost the energy of the Queen of Swords. It was the Queen of Air in the Good Tarot, how she came out with the owl instead of the butterfly. It was like now isn't necessary. It was reading like now isn't the time to go out and go through a major. Not that major transformations won't happen, but it's like now is not the time to necessarily try to die and be reborn and go through this new phase. Now is a time of exercising the wisdom that we've gained, and it's a time of allowing knowledge that we've acquired to also blossom into further wisdom. It's a time for wisdom, not a time of transformation. Like the transformation is imminent, the transformation is going to happen, but wisdom is important because of how we navigate it, almost because of like how we channel and use those transformative energies. Or it's to like give us some kind of a footing in the midst of everything that's happening. The transformation was with the Queen of Earth, meaning that like Earth was transforming, things around us, the external world was transforming. And internally, there's some kind of stability there as we're exercising our wisdom to keep our footing so that when we go in front of the cosmic judge or whatever, in front of the divine, we have like a solid case for whatever. Girl, I don't know. So anyway, thanks, Holly, for stopping by. I hope you all have an amazing whatever whenever you see this. I hope you're acting in alignment to make all that you wish to experience your reality. I hope that whatever you need along your path journey will you find. And I hope that, I don't know, I guess I hope that you can give yourself a little bit of leniency, a little bit of grace. And I hope good things come your way, especially if you're queued up for good things, especially if you're queued up for good things. I hope them an expedient delivery to you and a long-standing visit I guess. And I'll catch you later. Bye.